Hello, this is Mr. Hornsby83 with Mr. Hornsby83 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles review. Requiem, I can't even say it right. Now, this is the episode before the big season finale, and off the bat, I gotta say something. Something happened in this episode that I have been predicting for quite a while, and if you've seen all my turtle reviews, you know what I've been predicting. But, actually, I've been predicting it since season 3 finale of TMNT. But, so the episode starts with Super Shredder going and asking Baxter Stockman if he's gotten the serum stabilized, or the mutagen stabilized. Stockman says yeah, and then he injects Shredder with it. So he asks her how it feels. He's like, yeah, it feels perfect. All that. His claws get a little bit larger. He can now do projectile claws and everything. And he says unleash the footbots. So Stockman unleashes the footbots. He mows through them, and then an image of Karai comes down, and he's like, Karai. And then he runs toward her and just freaking slices her. And then we get the opening credits after that. Then we get to all the other turtles and Casey and April and all them all sitting there talking and laughing and having a good time. And then Michelangelo comes in, he's like, my dudes, my bros, my turk. Kind of like what they're doing with the commercial that they're advertising for these new episodes. And he's talking about, the time has come, etc., etc. The season's winding down, the season finale of the Chris Bradford show, which is Chris Bradford and his crew running up the steps. And he's talking about, he's keeping up, but everybody else is getting tired. The little boy that's with him, the big fat guy, and the guy that looks like Mr. T. I think the guy that's fat is supposed to be a Samoan, so I don't know. A sumo wrestler, Samoan wrestler, I don't know. But, so the little boy, so he goes back, puts the little boy on his back, they run up the steps, and then as he gets out the door, he says the boy disappeared. I don't know, I forgot the boy's name. So the commander, Captain Ultimate Ninja, or whatever it was called, he pulls off his little cape thing and he reveals he's the little boy, and then the boy mutates into this giant, freaking odd-looking mutant, and then Chris Bradford's like, you're gonna pay, and then he does like a bicycle kick and knocks the monster off the roof, and then he turns to the camera and he's like, that's right, boys and girls, evil never wins, which is pretty funny because he's evil on the show, not the Bradford show, but the Turtle show. The actual show, he's evil. But he's like, but my cereal, I forgot what his cereal was called. I think Chris Bradford Champion Breakfast or something like that. And then that's how it goes off, and all the turtles are like dumbified, like, what in the world just happened? And so then Leonardo goes in the other room to talk to Master Splinter. He's like, since you've been seeming a little distant lately, and then Splinter proceeds to ask him, do you know why I made you leader? And Leonardo's like, yeah, you said it's because I asked. Because you said it wasn't because of my skills. He's like, well, I said that just to temper your ego. He said, I knew this whole time that you were meant to lead this team and this and that. And then he tells Leo, because when the time comes or something like that, if I pass away or something, lead your brothers with your heart, not your head. And Leo's like, he's like freaked out. He's like, is there something you're not telling me? And Splinter didn't tell him, but so then the rest of the turtles and April and Casey come in. Michelangelo asks, you guys want to go see Karai's at the Mutano's place? And Splinter and Leo both say yeah, and they all head there. And then we cut to the Mutano's place. You got Mondo Gecko skateboarding on their little skateboard ramp. Then Shinigami and Karai are talking to Slash and Leatherhead and all them about their security and all that. And then Karai tells Slash thanks for letting him stay there. And then they look on the cameras and Super Shredder's coming, and he like knocks out the camera, and then from there, I guess it's kind of an homage or something to Jurassic Park, but you hear the doom, doom like you used to hear when the T-Rex would come, and so it was something straight out of a horror movie. So Shredder busts through, wipes the floor with the mutantibles. It comes down to him and Karai. He tells Karai, you know, I guess it's only fated that you die the same way your mother dies. Karai tries to hit the heart, but since the serum is stabilized, that's not his weakness anymore. Which I'll make a prediction about that at the end of this review. But, so he knocks her down off of where they were fighting at, and then a bunch of freaking rubble falls on her, and Shredder just didn't give a care. Like, he wiped out all of his emotions, and then I guess he left, which I don't know why. He should have figured the turtles were going to come there. But he left for whatever reason. Apparently it was all part of a trap, so. So the turtles get there with Splinter, and they're like, Leo and Splinter's pulling the rubble off of Karai to make sure she don't die. They all grab the mutantables and get them out of there before the place explodes. And Leo has to give CPR to Karai to revive her. And Shinagabi's like, thanks for reviving her, Leo. Had it not been for you, she might have died. And then the hospital. And then Splinter sees like a vision of Shredder and his, underlings going like in two different paths. He tells April, Casey, and Raph to come with him. And he sends Leo, Mikey, Donnie, I think that's it, to go after, the underlings. And they go to the same amusement park where they first fought Bebop and Rocksteady. Bebop even puts out does the little turtles come out and play again, like he did in that first Bebop Rocksteady episode. And they shoot Rocket, and then he's like, remember when I said that the first time? I said that because it's Throwback Thursday. Then Rocksteady says something corny like, yeah, we're going to throw you all back to last Thursday. And then they're all like, oh, God, dude. Yeah, it's funny how dumb Rocksteady is. But then they shoot a rocket launcher out of one of the horses on the carousel, and they start fighting them. Leatherhead was with Mikey and them, too. Leatherhead, there for a minute, Razor's beating the crap out of, I think, Leo. And then Leatherhead knocks him in the water and goes under, and he comes out. And then, I don't know what happened. Fishface, I think Mikey bested Fishface or something like that. So they all run off, and then, Leo and them realize it's a trap. But on the other hand, Shredder and them, Splinter and April and all them, so they fight Shredder at the first place they encountered Shredder, and way back in season 1 where he mopped the floor with them. And he pretty much mopped the floor with everybody except for April and Splinter, and that's because April has her powers and Splinter. Seems like no matter if he's regular Shredder, Super Shredder, or not, Splinter can keep up with Shredder. So there's a point where the Shredder beats the crap out of Raph, throws him into Casey. Casey falls off the roof, but he has a grappling hook, so he uses it, and then he slams into the truck down below, which was a garbage truck. And Splinter's come at me, and then Shredder. So Shredder says he's gonna end his nightmare, and Splinter's like, come end your nightmare, and he has a stick that he's kind of like a daredevil stick. He slides it out, and then there's ropes to it. Shredder comes charging at him. Splinter takes the rope, trips him up. He's bouncing on the ground, and he falls off the roof, or so we think he falls off the roof. And Leo and them get there in time to see what's about to happen. Leo looks up in the little telescope thing, and then he screams ah! And then April's like, Splinter! And then you see Shredder coming at him. The screen goes red. You hear a slash. And then after all that, you see Shredder's claws through Splinter. So Splinter died. Very sad moment. And I'll be honest, look, I was shocked it happened, but I knew it was going to happen. And I'll talk about that here in a minute, why I knew it was going to happen. But it's like, I finally killed Hamato Yoshi, throws him off. And they land. April gets real angry, uses her powers, knocks him off into the garbage can, or the garbage truck, which was an homage to the first Turtles movie, the good Turtles movies, as I call them. So, then after Shredder lands at the truck, we have Casey Jones pull the lever, and he says, oops, but it wasn't like in the movie. In the movie, he was saying it like in a goofy way. This version, he was saying it in an intense, serious way. So, after that, they all come around Splinter. They're all remembering the good times they had. Well, the Turtles are. I'm sure in the funeral. Well, I'll talk about that in a minute. But, so they carry Splinter off. They drive away, and then you see the truck shaking, and Shredder's hand comes out, and that's how the episode ends. So, my prediction and why I knew this was going to happen. First off, I knew it was going to happen because they've been teasing it pretty much since the end of Season 2. Then in Season 3 they pulled it off, but the time traveling thing changed all that, and they were able to warn Splinter this time around so he wouldn't die. And then when they teased it when the first episode of Super Shredder, which I knew he didn't die there, but I did say in a recent video that I still think Splinter's going to die. The reason why is because if you look at this whole show, unlike 2003, unlike the 80s cartoon, Shredder has bested the Turtles, just the Turtles, every time he's fought them. No matter if he was regular form or Super Shredder. He's bested them. And they haven't been able to beat him. And Splinter's either kept up with him or bested him. So, I think this will be, him killing Splinter was a way for the extra motivation for them to finally get over that hump and defeat Shredder and probably kill him. I think they'll have Donnie make some kind of device that can penetrate the skin to his heart and get him through the heart and kill him that way. That's my prediction on that. And another reason why I knew this happened, in every single story that you've seen of Turtles, rather, except for the 80s cartoon, but Hamato Yoshi always gets killed by Shredder. And it was, this time Hamato Yoshi was Splinter and the same. Usually it's Hamato Yoshi was Splinter's master and Splinter was his pet. And I also based my prediction on the 2010 Turtles Forever movie because when they said Shredder killed their master Yoshi, the old school versions, not the 80s ones, but the actual comic versions, they didn't specify if it was Hamato Yoshi as Splinter or Hamato Yoshi, just Hamato Yoshi, Splinter's master. So they didn't specify that. But, very sad moment. The end of Splinter. First time Splinter's ever died in a Turtles incarnation. I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5. Really good episode. Really looking forward to the Season 4 finale. Might be as good as Season 3. Might end up being my favorite. Right now, Season 3 is my favorite. But that'll do it. Please like this video. Leave a comment.